Hello everybody, my name is 711 and welcome to the 6th battle in the 6th week of the Pokemon Battle Association Season 3. So this is my 6th opponent, Adam, and so he's bringing an incredibly scary team. He has a Mega Sableye, which I really have no way to counter easily because I don't have a Fairy type and I don't have a physical Fire type to set up with. So Mega Sableye, I have no way to deal with Mega Sableye, I should say. So if you look at my team, I have, some good stuff, Cofagrigus, and of course Adam has a lot of other threats as well, like Arcanine, Jolteon, Keldor, Gliscor. Everything on his team is extremely threatening, really dangerous, hazardous, and so I came up with a strategy, and I figured that he would lead with the Mega Sableye, and just like I've been saying every week, you are supposed to Mega Evolve first turn, and so I said, you know what, Cofagrigus is able to change the skill swap ability, so I can take away this Magic Bounce, which is this big claim to fame here. However, when I went for skill swap, he already got rid of his magic, magic abilities. So now I'm able to set up some toxic spikes here. So that was my main objective here, was to get everything toxic, and hopefully I would be able to wear things down so that Crocodile could come in, and either Crocodile or a Scarf Cross could put in some work. So here comes the Spectre again. This was my mistake. He brought the Magic Bouncer back in, so now there is a layer of toxic spikes on each side of the field. And that was a big misplay on my part, and it is going to cost me throughout the battle. So since this thing was already poisoned, I decided to go for Hex, and that does a lot of damage. So now that Magic Bounce is gone, now that he has Mummy, I am able to go for another layer of toxic spikes for free. So back out comes Joy the Blissey, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do about this Blissey? I don't have something to touch this Blissey, so I'm just considering my options here. There's a Stealth Rock, and so that is not cool. That's not cool at all. I decided to go for Skill Swap. I don't even remember why. Just trying to put in some work. That was a wasted turn, really, for me. And so, yeah, the Mega Sableye and the Blissey are both they're both poisoned, I should say. And now in comes Angelus, the Gliscor. So this Gliscor comes in as Heracross comes in, and so I know that Gliscor is a really strong wall. I know that Heracross is poisoned now, but I believe I did bring Guts Heracross back, and I said, you know what, maybe I'm going to try some muscle. Later on in this battle, I'm going to try some muscle. So out comes the Cofagrigus. I know that Gliscor is in fact poisoned, so the Hex, that's what I'm trying to think of. The Hex it should do a lot. It really should do a lot. So there's an Earthquake, and I do live it. And here comes that Hex. And it actually doesn't do as much as I thought. It turns out I didn't even bother calculating it, but it turns out that the Gliscor was especially bulky. It was very, very specially bulky. Adam said later that it can live a Hidden Power Ice, which is my intention right here. So he's going to withdraw and in comes Nurse Joy, who's able to eat up whatever move that Mega Manetric wants to do. So in comes the Blissey. The Intimidate really doesn't matter whatsoever. Here is a hidden power ice. So I guess he made that switch just to scout for it. But why would I bring it in otherwise? So unless I had hidden power ice. So now Nurse Joy is getting poisoned a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and Volt Switch. I know that he has that Jolteon in the back, which I have to look out for. So now in comes the Crocodile. I said, you know what, maybe this Crocodile can put in a lot of work right now. I am on a timer because I am poisoned, and I properly predicted a Thunder Wave, so that was really good. Nurse Joy is not going to paralyze my Crocodile like that. So, and actually Thunder Wave really isn't going to bother anything anyway, because everything gets poisoned upon entry except for Staraptor. So with that in mind, I have to be wary about that. So in comes the Lionheart, the Arcanine, which I really like that name, like Richard the Lionheart, the Lion. So he's going to Intimidate the Crocodile. That's really annoying. I decided to set up Stealth Rock because that's going to hurt everything. It's going to whittle things down. I got some Stealth Rock up against the Mega Sableye. So at this point in the battle, we have 2 layers of Toxic Spikes, and on Adam's side of the field, there's 1 on our side, and there's Stealth Rock on both sides. So now here's Samson, who is Toxic, and I go for a knockoff. And I guess this guy is really physically bulky and has the Assault Vest. So I'm really not in a good situation right here, because Samson, the Conkeldurr, he can really do a lot to my team because I have 2 Pokemon weak to it. Weak to fighting stab. So I decided to go for an Earthquake. Let's see how much that hurts. Didn't do enough, and there goes Crocodile. Now I'm running out of options here. Ultimately, it's now 4 to 6. I said, okay, Heracross can probably take something out here. I go for the Facade because I didn't want to lock myself into Earthquake and then Gliscor, and I did not want to lock myself into Mega Horn and then Arcanine come in. You know, a bunch of things like that. So here comes the Jolteon, and this Jolteon is actually a Quick Feet Jolteon. It's not even Volt Absorb. I'm pretty sure it is, if I recall correctly. I think it is. So anyway, back in comes the Lionheart to finish off Heracross. I am intimidated. So here's another Facade, and how much is that going to do? That's going to do, I don't know, about 40%, 35%. With that leftovers, that's really annoying, and Heracross goes down. So now this is a really big uphill for me. This is a very similar situation to where I was against Dan last week. So now here's the Staraptor, and he withdraws, and in comes the Mega Sableye as I go for the close combat. That was really annoying. That was exceedingly annoying. I thought that he was going to switch into Gliscor, and I did not want to take recoil, so I wanted to go for the close combat. That's why I went for close combat. He brought in the Mega Sableye. It was a perfect prediction. I know that this Sableye is physical. It already showed knockoff, and Mega Magnetric is basically my last hope here for this battle. Mega Magnetric really has to put in a lot of work here, but he really can't as long as Nurse Joy is around and healthy. So I go for a discharge, and that does a good bit. But I think that Nurse Joy is able to live another one. So that's really upsetting. This Mega Magnetric has been really putting in the work here and there. Just comes short of getting a couple crucial KOs though. So there's a Volt Switch, which is base 70 power, discharge is base 80, only slightly less. Or I'm sorry, only slightly more. So I said, you know what, let's for the heck of it, let's go with Chansey versus Blissey. So there is the soft-boiled. So now I have more soft-boileds than Nurse Joy has soft-boileds. The problem here, if you look back at his team, Chansey does not wall the Gliscor, Chansey does not exactly wall the Arcanine, and so the only Pokemon on his team that Chansey can wall is the Jolteon and just the Jolteon, because he also has Conkeldurr, which went down. So Chansey was not the best Pokemon to bring to this match. So there's some swords dancing here. Here comes the best I can do here, guys. This really is the best I can do. So there was a swords dance, and this is essentially the end game here. Gliscor is going to be able to set up on this Gliscor is going to be able to set up on Chansey, and there isn't much I can do at all. He's just going to be able to Roost, Sword Stance, Knockoff, and Earthquake, I believe. And he did tell me at one point that that he does have enough effort values to survive a Hidden Power Ice from Mega Magnetric. But, you know, I could crit. A crit would be nice. So down goes the Chansey. I basically sacked the Chansey, and Gliscor got really powerful. So at least I get to intimidate this Gliscor before anything else happens. So I went for the Volt Switch here because I predicted Gliscor to go to switch. I predicted the Blissey to come back in, and so I went for Volt Switch. I didn't think that it would stay in, but this is it's sweeping time for Gliscor, and in comes Staraptor. The best thing I can do is Brave Bird, just lock myself into Brave Bird and hopefully hit everything. That does a lot of damage, but not enough, evidently. And so Staraptor goes down to Gliscor's Knockoff, and that is the end of the game. So great game, Adam. I will see you in the playoffs, and yeah, you brought a really great team. Like, hands down, I would trade everything on my team for everything on your team. Just swap teams if I could, because that is just a beastly team. I love using Mega Sableye. I hate going against a Mega Sableye. So good game, Adam, and I'll see you in the playoffs if I'm able to make it that far. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, then please leave a comment below. Tell me what you enjoyed. Give this video a like, and I will see you guys later. Peace.